China Current is a weekly news talk show from China to the world. We cover viral news about China every week and also give you the newest updates on China's cutting-edge technologies. Let's get started.
Welcome to China Currents, your weekly news report on the latest developments in China. I'm Lisa. In this episode, Biden's sanction against China's drone maker DJI troubles Trump. China's rocket launched Pakistani satellites into the space. Shanghai sets a new world record. First, let's start with Trump's big day. On the 20th of January, Trump delivered his inaugural speech indoors at the US Capitol, breaking a long-standing tradition of hosting the ceremony outdoors. This choice typically results in a 60% reduction in live audience size, which is why no US president has opted for this in the past 40 years. So, why would Trump, who is known for his love for the spotlight, make such a decision? CNN suggested it was because of cold weather, but the real reason might be tied to concerns about DJI, the Chinese drone maker. Trump had previously survived 2 assassination attempts, which led the Secret Service to ramp up security for the inauguration. According to NBC, Special Agent Matt McCall, who was in charge of the president's safety that day, noted they were preparing for potential drone threats. Given what we've seen in the Ukraine war, avoiding exposure to the sky is often the safest route when it comes to drones, and it looks like Trump's security team took that to heart. But why wasn't Biden concerned about drone threats during his inauguration? The answer lies in DJI's geofencing technology. Since 2015, after a DJI drone inadvertently entered White House airspace, the company has installed geofencing at the US government's request. This technology uses GPS to prevent drones from flying over restricted areas such as White House, airports, and military bases, effectively preventing drone-related terrorist incidents in the US for years. However, just before Trump's inauguration, on the 13th of January, DJI announced it would unlock its geofencing in the US, replacing non-fly zones with enhanced warning zones. This meant that if a DJI drone flew over restricted areas, the system would only notify the operator, leaving it up to them to decide what to do. Foreign policy raised alarms about this, especially since a month earlier, unidentified drones had caused panic in New Jersey, and FBI was still trying to figure out what happened. For US law enforcement, which doesn't have many ways to counter drones, this change could be a big problem. But really, the US government has to look in the mirror here. Keeping drones out of the restricted airspace is its job, not DJI's. The FAA even admitted that it doesn't require drone manufacturers to include geofencing. Other American companies like Skydio sell drones without this feature, meaning DJI has been voluntarily maintaining a protective geofencing system at its own cost for years. Instead of being thankful for this, the US government added DJI to the list of Chinese military companies in October 2024, slapping on sanctions under the guise of national security threats. Given this treatment, why would DJI want to keep helping the US? It makes sense that they stopped providing geofencing service in the US. According to Politico, the day after DJI removed its geofencing on January 14th, several US intelligence and law enforcement agencies issued a joint warning that Trump's inauguration was a potential target. This was due to over 700,000 users on Telegram threatening to assassinate Trump the day after the election, following a video from a media outlet linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Maybe if Trump hadn't used a drone to take out Soleimani in 2020, he wouldn't have faced such intense security concerns, regardless of DJI's geofencing status. He might have been able to hold his inauguration outdoors instead of staging a tough guy under the Capitol's Iron Dome. Moving on the 17th of January, China's Long March 2D rocket successfully launched Pakistan's PRSCEO-1 satellite into orbit. This is a big win for China's space program and marks the 556th flight of the Long March series. The PRSCEO-1 satellite, developed by Pakistan's space agency, is going to help Pakistan keep a close eye on environmental changes. It will help provide important data that can support sustainable development projects in the country. But China isn't just working with its neighbors. Back in December 2023, the Long March 2C rocket launched a satellite for Egypt. Plus, China has teamed up with Brazil to develop 6 satellites, 2 of which are already in action. These satellites are crucial for monitoring flooding, extreme rainfall, and even deforestation in the Amazon rainforests. Interestingly, while China is making these advancements, SpaceX Starship had a tough day on the same date. It exploded during its 7th test flight, and debris scattered over a wide area, reportedly reaching parts of the Caribbean. This caused some major disruption in air traffic with multiple flight delays and rerouting. There are also environmental worries about this debris, especially since it would impact habitats for endangered species. After another explosion in 2023, debris ended up in crucial nesting areas for endangering piping plovers. Judd Starr, a sustainability scientist at the University of Massachusetts, summed it up well. Musk is a complicated figure. On the one hand, he's played a crucial role in popularizing EV and battery storage with Tesla. On the other, he's flying space tourists on missions that create a huge amount of pollution. Next up, let's move to Shanghai, where over half of Tesla's EVs are made. On the 15th of January, Shanghai released its government work report, and there are some impressive highlights. First off, China's port has hit a major milestone, achieving a container throughput of 51.5 million standard containers. That makes it the first major port in the world to surpass the 50 million marks in a year, and also making the 15th consecutive year that Shanghai port has been recognized as the world's busiest port. Just to put this into perspective, back in 1994, the throughput was only 1 million containers, which means there's been an incredible 50-fold increase in international trade over the 30 years. But it's not just freight that's thriving. The passengers transport sector is also making waves in Shanghai. In 2024, the city's airport recorded over 800,000 flights, with passengers numbers exceeding 124 million, thereby setting a new historical record. And there's more good news on the horizon. Starting in December 2024, the National Immigration Administration of China is relaxing visa-free policies. This means that foreign transit passengers can now stay for up to 10 days without a visa. With all these developments, experts believe Shanghai's airport are set to break even more records in 2025. And that is all for today. Thank you for watching this episode of China Currents. If you have any thoughts or comments about our show, please reach us at the email address below. We look forward to hearing from you and see you next time. And also, Happy Chinese New Year!